In a remote village, hidden among the hills and forests, lived an old sage named Baba Deveneth. He was a man of few words, with eyes that seemed to hold 1,000 years of wisdom. His hut was simple, just a thatched roof and a mat to sit on. But people from across the region came to him for answers to life's deepest questions. He never advertised his knowledge. He simply listened. Sometimes he gave answers, but more often he gave silence. A silence that somehow said more than words ever could. One afternoon, as the sun dipped low in the sky and the birds began their evening songs, a young boy arrived at Baba Deveneth's hut. His name was Arjun, only 18, but already worn down by life. His clothes were dusty, his eyes filled with frustration, and his voice trembled as he spoke. "Baba," he said, "why is life so unfair? My father died last month. He was the only one earning in the family. My dream was to go to the city, to study, to build something for myself. But now, I can't even afford books. My friends have moved on, and I feel stuck, alone, forgotten. What wrong did I do to deserve this?" The sage listened patiently. He didn't interrupt, didn't judge. After a long pause, he stood up slowly and said, "Come with me." Confused but curious, Arjun followed him into the forest. They walked in silence until they reached a small stream, where the sage had built a little open kitchen made of stones and wood. There was a fire pit, and nearby 3 clay pots. Baba Deveneth lit the fire and placed the pots on it, filling them with water. Then, from a small basket, he took out a raw potato, an egg, and a handful of tea leaves. He placed each item into a separate pot. "Sit," he said. For the next 15 minutes, neither of them spoke. The fire crackled, the water boiled, the forest whispered. Finally, the sage turned off the fire and took the items out. He handed the potato to Arjun and said, "Touch it." Arjun did. "It's soft." Then the sage cracked the egg. The yolk had hardened, and finally, he poured the water from the 3rd pot into 2 cups. It was now fragrant tea. "Do you understand what just happened?" the sage asked. Arjun shook his head. They all went through the same boiling water, the same hardship, but they reacted differently. The potato, which was strong and firm, became soft and weak. The egg, which was fragile, became hard inside. But the tea leaves, they transformed the water itself. They changed the environment. He looked deeply into Arjun's eyes. "Life's difficulties are like this boiling water. You cannot escape the heat, but you can choose how you respond. Will you become soft and defeated like the potato? Will you harden your heart like the egg? Or will you rise like the tea leaves and turn the pain into purpose, the suffering into strength?" Arjun sat in silence. The weight on his shoulders didn't disappear, but it shifted. It no longer felt like a curse. It felt like a challenge. He realized that he still had choices. Maybe he couldn't bring his father back. Maybe the city was far away. But he could grow, adapt, and change. He could become the kind of person who transformed situations, not someone who's broken by them. That evening, as Arjun walked back to the village, the world looked different. Not because it had changed, but because he had moral of the story. Everything happens for a reason. Sometimes the reason is to prepare you, to strengthen you, and to awaken the strength that was already inside you. Life will test you, not to destroy you, but to teach you who you are. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more such inspirational content. Drop a comment below and let us know, which one are you, the potato, the egg, or the tea leaves? Sometimes, all it takes is one story to change how you see life. Stay strong, stay kind, and remember, everything happens for a reason.